We just like love being a hoe. No, yeah. Yeah, so we just like being mean, guys. We just like being a hoe. Yeah. I just want to see what is here. That's all. Okay, never mind. Alright, we're good. Alright, chat. See, now, this is what we gonna do. Okay? We is going to go... Yo, where are you? Ibis Paint X. Please get out my way. And we gonna go finish Vesta. Because we love us some Vesta! Don't we love us some Vesta? We love us Vesta. We love our Vesta. We love Vesta.
Breath her whole life. I used to think the only way to clean a dog's
And we're gonna listen
I
to
just
this.
got engaged to a man that just spent 13 years in prison, and he's been out for 5 months. So this is his first Valentine's Day since he was 19.
Now that's one hell of an engagement announcement, and I promise you it isn't a joke. Imagine you match with someone on Tinder, you meet for coffee. 6 weeks later, he's living in your house, there's a ring on your finger, and your TikTok is on fire. Not because of the love story, but because the whole internet just Googled your fiancé. This is exactly what happened to Phoenix, a seemingly regular lady who became TikTok famous overnight. It all started with the engagement announcement and Valentine's post on February 10th, 2026.
I've never had flowers before. He does very well. So, had to brag on that. But these are our Valentine's plants. Dollar Tree canvas. You paint the canvas one color. You put some painter's tape down directly in the middle.
Dear Dr. Hansen, because of Piedmont's precision,
I am still here. My care was prompt, professional, and complete. Most importantly, I was given more time to focus on what really matters, my family.
Thank you for my second chance, Tom.
So,
You guys put your
Now here's the thing, falling in love isn't uncommon. When you know, right? But the fact that the man she agreed to marry had spent almost his entire adult life in prison was a huge red flag. So people started digging, and the story got even darker. His name is Blake Lammers. So who is Blake Lammers? The man Phoenix calls the best part of her. The man who in November 2012 walked into a Walmart, bought 2 AR-15 style rifles and 400 rounds of ammunition, and then sat down with police and described on tape, in his own voice, exactly how he planned to walk in and shoot random people until the cops showed up. Blake was 19 years old at the time of his arrest. He served 13 years after he was convicted, and 5 months after walking out of prison, he was on Tinder, where Phoenix found him, fell for him, and invited him into her home. Now, I'm not here to tell you that people who've been in prison cannot change. I'm not here to say 13 years of someone's life counts for nothing, but there's so much more to this story than you can imagine. Almost everyone is talking about it on TikTok, and I brought the gist to you. Let's start with the primary reason why people are calling the couple out. The engagement video drew a lot of attention to Phoenix, so she quickly doubled down with additional videos to shed more light on the situation. First, Phoenix went after the critics who called Blake out, and by doing so, she accidentally told everybody exactly what he did.
I'm not sure exactly how much regret you can have when no one got hurt. I'm sorry,
We aren't talking about a speeding ticket or a victimless crime like fraud. Blake James Lammers was arrested in November 2012 in Bolivar, Missouri for attempted mass shooting. In the weeks before his arrest, He had legally purchased 2 AR-15 style semi-automatic rifles and approximately 400 rounds of ammunition from a Walmart. This was happening in the same week that the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 was opening for its midnight premiere. It was also a few months after the Aurora, Colorado theater shooting that had the entire country on edge. His mother, Tricia Lammers, found the gun receipt. She was concerned because he had seen 7 psychiatric hospitalizations over 4 years. As any other reasonable mother would, she called the police. Officers found Blake unarmed at a Sonic drive-in and brought him in for questioning. During a videotaped interview at the police station, he admitted to planning to walk into the local Walmart and shoot random people, then wait for the police. He also referenced the idea of attacking the Twilight premiere he had bought a ticket for. He was convicted for attempted first-degree assault and armed criminal action, and sentenced to 15 years in prison in 2014. The conviction was upheld 6-1 by the Missouri Supreme Court in 2016. He served approximately 13 years with time served and got out around September 2025. Now, Phoenix made this video to defend her man, and on one level, you can understand the impulse. Her fiancé is being dragged all over TikTok, and she wants to set the record straight. But the way she does it, the specific arguments she reaches for, only adds fuel to the fire. Her central argument is, nobody got hurt. The plan was interrupted. Her mother turned him in before anything happened. Therefore, the 13-year sentence was an overreaction, and people calling him dangerous are judging him on something that never materialized.
I think we've all thought bad things at one point or another.
And here's the thing, there's a real legal argument underneath that framing. The one dissenting judge on the Missouri Supreme Court, Justice Tittleman, said something similar, that what Lammers expressed were thoughts, not corroborated action. He said that treatment was more appropriate than incarceration. In his words, Mr. Lammers admitted to homicidal thoughts, but he never engaged in conduct that, beyond a reasonable doubt, strongly corroborated a firm plan to act on those thoughts. Mr. Lammers should be receiving treatment for his mental illness rather than serving time in prison for a crime he did not commit. So while Phoenix was technically right in her reasoning, her boldness lacked empathy, and it seemed like she was only making excuses to rationalize her poorly considered rushed engagement to a man she barely knows. Viewers felt the same way with comments like, as a therapist, they are both messy, chaotic, and destructive. Trauma bonding indeed. Judges don't give protective orders because you simply talk to someone else's person and because you said do it. Everyone is saying they are worried for her safety. The more I see, I think they are just perfect for each other. The worst part is that this wasn't just one video. It was a series of questionable videos, and I'm just getting started. Okay, so after the defense video set the comment section on fire, Phoenix made a video to answer commonly asked questions about their relationship. In her previous video, Phoenix said Blake was the first man ever to buy her flowers.
He just moved into my house, and I just have to brag, I have never got flowers from a man before, but here I am. These are actually at least 2 weeks old, and they're just now starting to kind of die. These are just a few days old, and I am obsessed. I have never had flowers before. He does very well, so had to brag on that.
So naturally, people wanted to know how he could afford flowers and her engagement ring fresh out of prison. This was the first question she answered in the video. She said he works 12-hour shifts. He got promoted. He's been with his company since August 2025, 3 weeks after getting out.
How did he afford these flowers in my engagement ring? Let me tell you. He goes to work. He goes to work every single day. He works 12-hour shifts. In fact, he just got a promotion, and he's been with his company for 5 months. He got out of prison in August. He had a job.
Well, I guess Blake is trying his best to adapt quickly. Still, as having a job doesn't answer the more pressing question. Why are they rushing the relationship? And her answer here is the one that's...
New finished Ultimate Quantum costs less than Cascade? This just makes sense.
It makes sense because nothing cleans better than Finish. See the cleaning power?
Whoa.
It costs less per wash. That's why it makes sense.
Attention, Finish is an unbeatable clean and value.
In luge, races can be decided by 1,000th of a second. The last thing we need to be thinking about in those moments is payroll. Thankfully, we have Gusto. When athletes are racing at 90 miles per hour, Gusto helps us stay focused on performance, not...
Cybo.
All I can say is, one, you know when you know, and two, yes, we are engaged, but we are waiting until November of 2027 to actually get married, because that is when he's going to be off parole. He's doing about 2 years on parole. And so yeah, like, was the engagement rushed? Yes.
So they can't actually get legally married until his parole ends. The engagement is real, the ring is real, the cohabitation is real, but the wedding is 2 years away because of parole conditions. Maybe that would give her enough time to think about her choices. Still, letting a man move into your house and getting engaged just 6 weeks after you met him on Tinder is wild, regardless of whether he's an ex-convict or not. So many people pointed out that Blake was using Phoenix to secure a soft landing for himself. I mean, he may have a job, but now he has a comfortable house to stay in and a loving woman to tend to all his needs until he finds his feet. Phoenix didn't see it that way, though. She went on to talk about how he was doing well for himself and had his own plans after prison before he met her.
Had his own plans. When he got out of prison, he got a job pretty immediately. Within like a month or two, he bought a brand new Ford Bronco. He had plans to get his own place. So when you get out of prison, you have to tell them where you're going to be living.
Of course he told you he was trying to find a house, and stability is a key parole requirement. You must prove that you have a stable job and a permanent address. Phoenix was confident that he moved in with her out of love, and not because he was tired of staying with his parents or trying to settle his parole requirements without getting a house of his own. She also addressed those who said he was using her financially, claiming he was way better at managing finances than she was.
Someone else said he's using me financially, which is completely inaccurate. In fact, he's better with money than I am. And he makes significantly more money than I do.
I have no way to verify whether he really makes more money than she does, or if she's just saying that to make herself feel better about rushing the relationship. Regardless, this was followed by the most distressing part, where she refused to answer questions about why he was in prison in the first place.
But for now, I kind of just want to protect him because he, he's still kind of integrating back in, and I don't want to do anything that jeopardizes like his mental health or anything like that.
If you wanted to protect him and his mental health during his integration, why bring the matter to social media in the first place? And after exposing him to the world, she started trying to get his records sealed. Not like it would make any difference, since almost everyone already knows what he did and when he did it. One viewer noted that her decisions may stem from her issues with self-worth. None of my questions are for him. All of my questions are for her. Why does she hate herself? Why does she not find herself worthy? And why does she accept any kind of love that comes her way, no matter if it's worthy or not?
And that's actually going to lead us down the road of trying to get his record sealed. It will be very hard, if not impossible, unfortunately, because he is a convicted felon with they're like dangerous charges. But I have really been thinking that we should get an attorney and try to get this sealed because of how young he was, and then the fact that nobody got hurt.
Considering that she publicized the entire relationship, some of her people asked whether they would sign up for the TV show Love After Lockup. I mean, it was a valid question. Maybe she was looking for just enough publicity to get invited to the series, but she said she wasn't signing up.
Why not? Also, the last question, no, we're not on Life After Lockup. We're not going to be, like... That is such a stupid question.
As if part 1 wasn't bad enough, she made a second part answering more questions, and this time she finally introduced her beau to us.
Part 2, to commonly asked questions that we've been receiving. He's here with me. He is not fake. He's a real person. So we're just going to get into some of the questions that we've been getting.
Blake speaks this time. He addresses those who wondered if he was an ex-offender.
Big one was, am I an ex-offender? I am not an ex-offender. I'm not registering. I actually went to prison for a violent crime.
I cross-checked and no, he's not on the list. So he's telling the truth about not being a registered offender. He talked about the timeline of when they met and addressed other speculations about their relationship.
I was actually out of prison 4 months before I met Phoenix. I got out in August, met her in December, so I did not get out home playing with her. I'm not using it for her house, car, money, tax refund. Like some people are thinking I'm taxing, so I'm using it for money.
The tax refund is a big one.
I have my own job. I have a car of my own that I bought 3 months out of prison because people, when they get out of prison, they can get jobs.
He then confirms the 2 charges: first-degree assault and armed criminal action.
I'll even tell you the 2 charges was a first-degree assault and armed criminal action. If you want to look into that and the definition of those 2 charges, all you have to do is Google.
Welcome to the last bastion of the West, where the frontier is wild and grand.
The lack of accountability is alarming. Both of them downplayed the events that led to his arrest, as if it were not that serious, as if his intentions were not clear, and he didn't admit to planning a massacre before he called the police. Also claiming he did nothing wrong and playing a victim of the justice system showed a lack of self-reflection on both their parts. Phoenix said living together was her idea and not his.
But no, I asked him to move in. We split all of the household bills.
Phoenix and Blake came across as totally settled in their version of events. Not defensive, not uncertain, not showing any cracks. And for a lot of people, that clarity was suspicious as well. Viewers pointed to possible mental health reasons for their behavior. He is diagnosed with autism, bipolar disorder, and something else. He said from his mouth sometimes he has homicidal thoughts, like this lady will not have a happy ending. He is a time bomb ticking. Someone else pointed out that Blake is manipulating her into thinking she's in love and he doesn't need her for anything. That is classic post-prison romance. He walks out with no address, no job, but a PhD in manipulation. And what a surprise, he always manages to find love with a woman who's looking to be saved by him. Another person replied agreeing with the manipulation theory. I think people always think that individuals in prison and or people who suffer from some form of mental illness, addiction, are so uneducated or not smart. I have found to be the opposite case. The level of even street intelligence required to survive. At this point of their social media career, most people believe Phoenix was the victim who was just looking for love and happened to meet someone who took advantage of her. But as more videos surfaced, a new narrative started to unfold. You see, there was a lot of speculation about her mental health when Phoenix started posting her relationship online. She eventually posted a video that provided much-needed clarity. In the video, she talked about how she was misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder as a child, but was eventually diagnosed with borderline personality disorder as an adult.
This is going to be a long one this morning. I want to talk about a couple of things, including mental health, children, different things. Starting out with mental health, when I was 13 years old, I got misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I was misdiagnosed for almost 10 years. It wasn't until I actually had my son that I realized, like, something's just not right, like, medication was not helping me, and I met with a psychologist, and, I was with her for a few months. We did some testing and different things. That's when I found out that I had borderline personality disorder. Everyone is freaking out because...
The thing is, it's not just her. Blake has also been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And the worst part is that both of them are unmedicated by choice. Phoenix presents this not as a concern, but as a resolved issue. According to her, they manage it together, through the relationship, through mutual support. They're doing just fine.
We were both unmedicated because medication it's not the answer for us, for him or me. Medication also does not treat antisocial personality disorder. So, there's that.
Now, managing BPD without medication is not inherently wild. For my research, things like dialectic behavior therapy, lifestyle adjustments, and having a strong support system are all legitimate and evidence-based ways to cope with BPD. Plenty of people do it. But the through each other part is what our followers and critics focused on. Using a romantic relationship as your primary management strategy, especially a 6-week-old one, is not the same thing as having actual support structures in place. There is also the favorite person dynamic to talk about here. It's one of the most discussed features of BPD in online communities. It has to do with the way someone with BPD can become almost entirely emotionally organized around one person, especially in early relationship stages. The intensity of the attachment is real. The emotional experience of it is real. But it can make timelines that would make most people feel not just acceptable, but right. She admitted that she spent her younger years in and out of mental institutions.
if you know me from back then you know I was in and out of mental health facilities from the time I was 13 to 18. So, but posting people's children on the internet, that is not going to be tolerated at all.
I kind of feel bad for Phoenix, considering everything she's been through. It looked like she needed mental health help more than an engagement ring. The comments were full of conflicting takes. Some felt pity for her, and others felt Blake was the one who needed rescuing, not her. I actually feel really bad for her. Don't. She's exactly where she wants to be. Agreed, she knows exactly what she's doing, or trying to do it anyway. Why? She's the entire problem. He needs to run. Then there's Blake's side of the mental health picture. Records show he has a history that includes antisocial personality disorder, BPD, autism spectrum disorder, and a learning disability. Let's not forget that he had 7 psychiatric hospitalizations before age 20 and a 2009 psychotic episode at the same Walmart. And then during his prison time, he didn't receive any mental health treatment, counseling, or medication. In fact, CNN covered Blake's story, referencing his mental health challenges as well. During a 2013 segment with a CNN reporter, Blake and his family addressed their concerns about feeling cheated by the justice.
New Old Spice Cosmic Quest 24/7 freshness makes me want to be Mario. He has
system.
At some point you said you had intended to cause people harm.
Yes, and then the detective, he came out of nowhere and said I was in a threatening movie theater. I just started agreeing with him because I knew either way he was going to find me, he was going to charge me for something.
His parents claimed they saw him as someone who needed help, but the justice system saw him as a criminal without considering his mental health history. The mother said she reported the gun purchase to the police because she was concerned for his safety, not because she thought he would people.
And came upstairs and was going through his pockets, and I found a receipt from Walmart that he had bought a weapon for $865. I immediately went out in the garage and I called Bill and I said, what do we do?
Was that the concern, that he was going to hurt
My
somebody?
concern was he would take the guns and kill himself.
You decide to call the authorities.
The next day, Thursday morning, I went to the sheriff's department with the receipt.
She said the officers twisted her words and took Blake away for a wellness check that ended up being an arrest.
So what did they say to you?
They said, okay, Mrs. Lammers, thank you for coming out. So he didn't seem like he was too concerned. Okay, thank you.
Trish, why did they put him in jail?
They said they were doing a well-being check, so they picked him up at Sonic and they said, we need to take you to the police station.
Blake himself talked about the difficulties he faced growing up as an awkward kid in high school.
At one point, in my sophomore year in high school, for a whole semester from August to December, I ate my lunch in the bathroom because I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody that ate lunch at that time.
It's kind of sad, Blake.
Well, it is.
Now, I'm not about to say Blake was wrongfully convicted, but one thing I can verify for sure is that he has a history of mental illness. So maybe moving in with someone with just as many mental health challenges a few months after leaving prison isn't the best idea. The comments reflected mixed sentiments. Some people were being mean to him, while others felt he knew what he was doing at the time of the incident, and his involvement shouldn't be minimized. What's scary is he's still not getting mental health treatment. Sometimes you need therapy and medication. Just eating healthy and working out doesn't cure a mental health disorder. The next person wasn't as sympathetic, pointing out that the effort Blake put into the attempt was too much to simply overlook because nobody got hurt. It stops being just a threat when he actually goes and buys the weapon, and allegedly 400 bullets too. Another person said he deserved a second chance, and pointed out how displaying their relationship on TikTok was going to do more harm to his mental health than good. He absolutely deserves a second chance and a life of happiness. However, you also have to put in the work into yourself, into your mental health. Going on TikTok is tough with them too, and I think it's going to hurt both their mental health more than help. Especially that she recently posted a video of Twilight Obsession, mocking the whole situation. My gut tells me it's not going to end well for both of them. Obviously, there are deeper issues at play here. So when Phoenix says we are doing just fine and mental health is our priority, viewers can't help but wonder if they're right for each other. At first, viewers were mostly concerned for her safety. But things took a terrible turn when Phoenix posted videos making a joke about the attempted mass murder. It started with a video of her and Blake watching a Twilight marathon. Remember that Blake had bought movie tickets to a Twilight movie when he was found with the guns and ammo. Phoenix captured the video Weekend Date Night Twilight Marathon. At this point it was obvious she was rage baiting her viewers. Now, rage bait about a recipe, a hot take, or a fashion opinion is one thing, Rage bait built on a rapid engagement with someone with a violent ideation criminal history, where the bait is genuinely alarming information about a real person's safety, that's a different category. It wasn't just the movie night video. Phoenix also posted a conversation starter video that was a little too creepy for her audience.
What is your favorite song? I think today I'm gonna have to say Decode by Paramore.
Ooh, this is a hard one. My favorite song would have to be by Drowning Pool, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. That's what I would have to pick for this moment.
Viewers found these song choices concerning. First of all, Decode by Paramore was one of the lead singles in Twilight. Was it genuinely Phoenix's best song, or was it yet another rage bait? For someone who said she wanted to protect Blake's privacy, Phoenix was sure going out of her way to set her relationship up for internet scrutiny. While the original video's been deleted, like most of her controversial videos, viewers still expressed concern in the re-uploaded video. When people called her out for her choice of songs, she played the victim card and uploaded another video about cyberbullying.
100,000 to 800,000 people unalive themselves every single year, and I believe that's just in the US. And you were at a 2 to 2.5 times more likely to do it if you're a person that is getting cyberbullied. So I would just like to, say that since my mental health issues are being brought up so much and people are so concerned. If you're so concerned, stop sending me threats, stop sending me hate. It's my life, it's my decision to be with who I want to be with. That's all.
Cyberbullying is never okay, and Phoenix was right about it leading to suicide. But I don't know what she was expecting from the rage baiting. First of all, when you put your business on the internet, people will talk. You can't control that part. Now, how you present your case would determine if you get backlash or encouraging support. Phoenix, as usual, refused to take any accountability for her role in inciting the backlash. As negative comments intensified, Phoenix deleted her TikTok account. There was a lot of commentary regarding why she deleted her account. Some said it was due to backlash and fear of repercussions from the parole board.
Well, the account is gone. Yeah, completely gone. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the account is gone. He was so happy because he wanted to profit off his crime, and there's a law against that. So, a lot of comments were in the videos that she makes, because she is not right. So a lot of people were saying that they were going to contact his PO. People put down there that they were downloading all her stuff to keep as proof to send to his PO. Yeah. So I'm sure that had to do a lot with them taking it down, because he's still in Peru.
And this wasn't a lie. Profiting from crime is a big no-no, especially when it involves capitalizing on notoriety. Parole conditions and specific Son of Sam laws work together to redirect any ill-gotten gains to victims, ensuring offenders don't exploit their infamous status. The goal? To promote genuine rehabilitation through honest, productive work, not a lucrative tell-all book deal. But that's a topic for another day. Others said it was because of problems in a relationship, suggesting that Blake may not have understood the ramifications of putting his story out there on social media before he agreed to do so.
I genuinely don't think that he understood the ramifications of online culture, specifically on TikTok, when it comes to cancel culture and doxing these days. He was in prison for the rise of modern internet as we know it, and especially TikTok. And for her to get on the internet and flaunt him and talk about his story and his experiences.
This seems reasonable, considering that Blake spent years in prison and didn't experience the social media revolution. Some people in the comments section disagreed with this take, claiming that prisons aren't as restrictive as people think, and Blake probably knew what he was doing when he allowed Phoenix to put his story out there. People in jail have internet access. Maybe he didn't fully understand, but prisoners aren't like in the Stone Ages. Some of them have iPads. I don't think he had internet access while in Missouri's highest security prison, LOL. You'd be surprised what they have as contraband. While speculation ran wild, Phoenix reactivated the account and posted on her story about why she left. Apparently she felt unsafe after someone messaged her about the content she and Blake were posting. In her words, "I didn't deactivate because of the hate. Other things took priority. We received threats in multiple places and had to come up with a plan. Myself and my fiancé are just fine." She also posted screenshots of the messages, and I must say they are dark. Hey, stupid bitch. If you're gonna rage bait, it's not funny or cute. I hope this parole officer sees you guys' videos. You two are plotting something. You two are the dumbest couple. All you could have done is walked away from him, yet here you are. The big stupid hoe won't listen to jack shit. We're gonna talk about you and your so-called man. I heard you sent your child to be adopted. Wow, Mom of the Year goes to you, not. You make me sick just looking at you. If you someone, we're gonna blame it on you. Maybe get a different hobby than rage baiting. Y'all are stupid grown-ass adults. You should know better. Go die like I'm dead-ass serious. Please do. You deserve to go in the grave. It didn't stop with body and mom shaming. The person made a clear threat to their safety. Your address is out there. Don't for a minute think either of you are safe. We don't need a convicted mass shooter and his ugly bitch in Springfield. If someone has your address and is messaging you with threats, that is not a comment section problem. That's a safety problem. It's something that involves law enforcement conversations and actual plans, which is exactly what Phoenix said they were doing, coming up with a plan. She did indeed want attention, and that's why she did the rage bait, but I doubt she thought things would blow up into real-life threats. Reactions were mixed. Some viewers called her out for bringing it upon herself. One said, I mean, they call it rage bait for a reason, because it can induce rage in people. And while I don't think people should be threatening them, the fact that they're rage baiting and then they start to get threats kind of makes sense, because they're not the only crazy people in this world. Another pointed out the irony of Phoenix and Blake joking about Mask with a song, implying they deserved whatever it is they got. They were joking about him unaliving people with song choice in the video of them watching Twilight. I'm calling BS on that being her reason why she deactivated. Some users were surprisingly supportive of the couple in this situation. Not a fan of that couple, but come on, grow up, people. Want to know what I did when I saw them posting stuff I don't agree with? I scrolled on. I didn't send hateful, twisted messages, sinking myself down to their level. Anyone telling a person to die is just as bad as them. Get your emotions in check. Here's what I'll say plainly. Some of the viewers watching this video did not at all behave well. Concern about a relationship is legitimate. Pointing to court records and documented history is not bad. Thousands of strangers flooding a woman's comment sections with negative comments is cyberbullying and unacceptable. Also, if their mental health is as delicate as viewers say, these kinds of comments may only provoke them and push them over the edge.
And it made me realize I don't care anymore what anybody gotta say.
Phoenix is still posting videos of herself and her relationship, but she's cleaned up her page, getting rid of all the rage bait. She's also turned off comments in most of her posts to reduce cyberbullying. Now all anyone can do is wait and see how things unfold. Will they have a happy ending, or will it end in tragedy?
Be there, even when you can't be. Money received directly into your bank account. When it counts. Zelle.
Good gods, I love Native. Yeah, we should give this to the mortals. You deserve Native deodorant. It's got 6 clean ingredients. And it smells... divine. It's not a myth.
It's Native.
Sigh. How long was that video? Oh, the stream lasted that long? Wait, ain't no way. It's been going on for that long? Well, yeah. Oh.
Here's a ball!
Today, me and my friends have to beat Minecraft before we are hunted and killed by PETA. But before we get into that, I created a slideshow to assign each of my friends a random animal that I believe is best suited for their personality. We're gonna find out which mods we are. I picked the best suited mob for each of your personalities and everything, okay? Alright, starting off, we got loading! Important information. Special gay and likes femboys. With all that information, I gave loading the chicken.
Because he likes cock.
What? Alright, Adam. Latino, handsome, give me a hand job behind a Taco Bell at 3:30 a.m. Alright. All this information considered, he's the fox!
Oh, God.
Mudo! I mean, it's obvious! It's in the name! The rabbit!
Holy reveal! Holy reveal! Holy reveal! Holy reveal!
Who's that Pokemon? I hate you.
Alright, Raz. Important information, artist, Canadian, and a big fan of the
No!
Alright, with all this information, with a sniffer. And then me! I forgot about me. Alright, guys, as we know, I'm the alpha. I'm the pack leader. You already guessed by now. The alpha wolf. Everyone shut the fuck up. Because now it's time for the rules. Animals get 60 seconds to run. Each animal has 3 lives. If an animal is killed by PETA, they lose all 3 lives. If an animal dies in the end, they lose all 3 lives. If all animals die, PETA wins. And if the animals kill the Ender Dragon, the animals win.
This season, you've got places to go, people to see, and things to do. You may have already gotten vaccinated for flu and COVID-19, but other respiratory illnesses are still out there. If you're 50 or older, even if you're healthy, it may be important to help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia. And if you have certain health conditions, it may be important to help protect against RSV, too.
Good,
Joey, I think you severely overestimate our ability to survive in the wild.
You can do it. You guys are a pack. You guys got
so
that.
good. I could go for some chicken
Uno.
right about now.
Me hugs.
Chicken.
3, 2, 1, go.
Holy cow, my size is actually such a big disadvantage. Emphasis on big. Holy cow.
Oh no! Oh my god, I'm so short.
I'm too big. It's kind of like.
I'm such a fat fucking chub.
You know, I'm such a fat person.
I'm such a fat Are you fucking kidding?
Oh,
that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Res run! Res run! One down.
Oh my god!
Ah, you best be running, boy! This wolf is Pharaoh!
That's right!
Oh my god.
I'm left.
Aye, free one! Free one! Free one! Free one!
What? Joey's going crazy. Joey's distracted.
Oh my god, you don't understand. Do you understand why they're chasing us?
Why? Why are they chasing us?
Because I stole some apple juice from the farm.
You stole apple juice from the farm! Adam, you know what that's gonna do to us? We're gonna die.
Oh, I had a
Are we
legacy I was
before,
keeping
are we
up.
in?
They used to call me Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Fox.
I wonder if I get food poisoning. I don't! Wait, that's goaded! So they ain't coming. If they are, we can hide in like a long thing.
I see him. Who the fuck is
But I'm so fucking fast though.
Oh hell no.
Oh, it's loading. Is this loading? No, it's just loading that chicken.
I know.
Okay. I'm sorry, but I have to end this now. But I'm going to go to bed because I need to sleep, and you do too. Bye bye. Good night.